Hi guys, this is Leo's here, CEO and founder of Leo Lee Educations. I hope you guys doing great. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about a slightly different topic than the usual topics I usually do. Um, for those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Leo Lee. I'm the CEO and founder of Leo Lee Educations. We are the #1 education and migration agency in regional areas. But in today's video, I just want to share with you the top 5 habits that I have used in 2019 that has really made a significant changes in my life, a significant improvement in my lives in all aspects, whether it's financially or emotionally or physically, uh, recreationally. These fields, all these aspects have improved because of these following 5 habits, and I just want to share with you because I really hope that you could use these habits that I just mentioned to you today, cultivate it in your daily life, and see for yourself the miracles. All right. So habit #1 that I used was writing goals down. So every day I write my goals down, and in other words, I set my intentions every day. So I have a notebook like this, right? And I write my goals down every day. So I'm not sure you can see it from there, but this is all my goals. Okay, so every day I write my goals down. It's become a ritual for me. So a lot of people ask me, what do I write down? So I usually write down, first of all, what are my daily goals? So what I want to achieve every day. So let's say for me, every day I need to help one person to study in Australia successfully. Help one person who successfully apply for RPL, or convert the experience into an Australia qualifications, or help one person to apply for the visa successfully to Australia, right? So that's my goal. Of also to make at least $1,000 net a day as well. So those are some of the daily goals that I have, and I wrote it down every day in my notes, right? Also, I put down my daily goals, like going to the gym once a day, and calling at least 100 people a day, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the goals. So right now it's called short-term daily goals. And then also I wrote down my long-term goals, which is to become a millionaire by 30 years of age, to increase my net worth to $500,000 by 2020, and buy an investment property in 2020, and many more, right? But I also wrote down my long-term goals as well. It's not just the daily goals, but also long-term goals. And then I wrote down a few quotes. Okay, a few quotes. For example, I wrote down some quotes such as "Success is my duty," "Be sell or be sold," "Be obsessed or be average," "Whatever it takes," "Get rich or die trying," and so on. These are some other quotes I live on, and I wrote down each day to remind myself that I need to live by these quotes. Okay, so that's habit #1 that I do, which is to write goals down. Try it for yourself. You don't need too much of a fancy notebook. Just any white piece of paper will do. But the thing is, you need to keep that with you, and you need to do it consistently every day for the next 365 days, right? It cannot just be an on and off things. It has to be consistent. So habit #1 is to write my goals down. Habit #2 that I do is visualizations. So what I do is I spend time visualize my goal, and in other words, I um, spend time thinking about my goals. Okay, so for example, I can show you, for example, what I did. So I create a vision board. Okay, I create a vision board. So it looks something like, let me see if I can show you. Okay, it looks something like this. You can see from there. Okay, so this is my vision board, right? Okay, so I create my vision board every year. At the start of the year, at the beginning of the year, the previous year, I draw or create a vision board, and I put in all the pictures of things that I want to achieve, or of the goals that I want to achieve, or of the person I want to become. Also, I put the pictures of the people that I admire, the people that I want to become or aspire to be. For example, for my case, I have a lot of idols, but probably the top 2 or 3 are always the same person for the past, same people for the past 4 or 5 years. One is Grant Cardone, his Uncle G. 2 is Dan Pina. He's extremely amazing guy. Now I've just found one guy called Fatita. He's a billionaire in America. So I wrote down. So I put all these pictures into a frame. All the dreams and the goals into a frame, and I put it, and then I put it on my phone. I put it on my desktop, my laptop, and even on my wall. So everywhere that I go, I see the goals, and that reminds myself, okay, Leo, are you doing it? Are you working yourself towards those goals and dreams? So vision board is very important. Also known as visualization is very important. Spend time visualize, imagining where you want to be 1 year, 2, 3 years, 4 years from now. Where you want to be is extremely important. Just a bit of a sharing with you. Personally, like, I have been very far from where I was. This is all because of my practice of these skills I just told you. First of all, writing my goals down, and visualizations. All right. Number 3, reflection. Now, reflection is extremely important. Reflection means that at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day, I wrote down notes to reflect myself. Where am I? Where am I at with my goals? Where am I at with my progress in life? Am I pursuing my goals? Am I working on myself? Do I keep promises to myself? What can I improve? What have I done wrong? What have I done right? Each day, did I learn something new? Did I pursue the goals I set out for myself? So I reflect a lot, and I think it's a very important practice. You reflect. Right now I'm 29, right? And looking back, when I first came to Australia, which was about 4 years ago, I was a clueless guy. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. I was absolutely broke mentally, and also financially, physically, everything. I did not do well in many aspects, right? But I practice doing reflections every day. I reflect whether am I becoming a better person, am I progressing? Because if you're not progressing, you're digressing. You're moving, either you're moving forward or you're moving backward. You cannot stay still. So I reflect a lot about my what I've done wrong, what I've done right, what should I do, did I keep a promise to myself, and so on. So reflection is critical. Indeed, I just bought this amazing book. It's called The Daily Stoic Journal. Amazing book. Definitely recommend for any of you guys who's keen to do more journaling and to do more reflections. Extremely critical. All right. So that's number 3, reflection. Number 4 is reading books. Reading books has become a life-changing habit for me. To be honest with you, I used to hate reading, right? And now looking back, I understand why I hate it, because the sort of books that I read when I was in school was extremely boring. It's extremely theoretical. It was written poorly written. It was too, like, it's so thick that even when you look into it, you feel like, what the hell, how can I finish reading that? So I'm not keen into that, okay? And that really turns me off from reading. But once I start going to Australia, and I start finding out that all the successful people, it seems like they read a lot. And then I was curious to see what sort of books they read, and I start to follow what they read and read them. And before you know it, I learned different things, different skills, everything that I want, every skills that I have after is all in a book somewhere, right? If I want to improve my communication skill, leadership skill, money skill, financial skill, everything, right, is all written somewhere in a book. Someone out there has done the hard work, and they have distilled it in a book for me to read for like 2-3 hours. Right? They have spent their whole lifetime to distill their knowledge into a book that is for like just 2-3 hours worth of reading. So it's definitely worth it to read. So reading books, guys, is extremely important. Recently, I've been purchasing this thing called Mental Box, and it's amazing. I love it. Mental Box is a great app. You guys definitely have to check it out. Okay, and last but not least is the habit that I do is taking action. All right, so what sets me apart from my peers and myself is the actions. Is that not just I dream a lot and make dreams, make goals, and write down all the things that I want in life. But what makes me different is I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to push, and I'm willing to take actions. And I think that's something that is really missing these days. Is people talk so much that they hardly do, and action is really what separates you from the pack, right? So even for example, because my works involve me calling a lot of people, right? I call B2B, I call B2C, I call, migrations, lawyers, all kinds of different people, business partners, always and consistently on the phone, talking to people, closing deals on the phone. So I take massive actions every day to call at least, I'm talking about 70 to 80 calls a day. And it's all about actions, just pick up the phone and calling people relentlessly. Or it could be, actions could be going to the gym, right? I go to the gyms at least 4 to 5 days a week, and non-stop. Whether I'm here in Australia or I'm going overseas, I'm still hitting the gym, right? So that's what action is all about. Or let's say if I have goals to, become a real estate investor, in which is something I'm working on right now, then I spend time almost every day reading something about real estate, reading about negative gearing, reading about depreciations, tax deductions, tax advantages, equity loans, and so on and so forth, right? So actions is all matters. Okay, so I hope this video finds you well. These are the following 5 habits that got me from someone that was so lack of self-esteem, so lack of self-confidence. Man, I wish someone had told me all this 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. But this is all boils down to my own personal experience. 5 habits that changed me personally, financially, recreationally, and everything else. Just changed the whole level. All right. So number 1, write goals down. Number 2, using visualization. Spend time visualizing, imagining. Preferably create a vision board. Number 3, reflections. Spend time reflections. What have I done right and wrong today? What was I doing so that I could improve? What can I do more? What can I double down on more? What should I do less? What did I say wrong? So on. For reading books, become obsessed with reading books. Okay, read more books. Books have all the knowledge that you need. I'm not talking about the big ass textbooks. I'm talking about books from authors, successful authors who have actually distilled their personal life experience into 2-3 hours worth of reading for you. And last but not least is 10 extra actions. You gotta have massive actions. So I hope this message finds you well. I know you guys probably enjoying your holiday, and I know this is not a typical video that I usually do, because I usually talk about starting Australia, migration Australia, and so on. But I guess this is a perfect timing for this sort of video as we're transitioning ourselves to 2020. And I hope this message finds you well. Try those habits. Let me know what do you think, and let me know how it works as well. Put in the comment box below so I know that you try and use it. So until then, if you need any help with starting Australia, migrating to Australia, finding jobs in Australia, I'm talking about regional area Australia, then make sure to DM your boy Leo Lee. We are the #1 agents for regional areas. Be great, because nothing else pays. Let's go.